Hi Cozy Hobby friends! I am super excited for this video where I take you along with me as I create a dedicated desk space for all my cozy hobbies and crafts in the corner of my husband's office. So we used to share an office, but quickly found out that it didn't work that well when we had to work in the same space during COVID lockdown. But we did enjoy sharing that space after hours where we could do our own thing. He could game, I could do my crafts or whatever. And it was a nice space for us to just hang out after work. I feel really fortunate that we each have our own individual offices in this house. But I do miss hanging out with him in the evenings when we have a little bit of time to ourselves. We found it especially challenging after having a kid, how to balance time for ourselves, for each other, and with our greater family and community. And oftentimes we have been putting each other on the bottom of that list. So I'm really hoping that by creating this shared space, we can relax and play, even if it's just parallel play, and have fun together again. Now, the reason why this is in my husband's office is because it has the best space and layout to achieve what we want. His side is over here and mine is over here, and there used to be a couch in this area that no one ever sat in, so I was like, why not turn it into a desk space? The other gigantic plus is that there is a storage closet in this office where I don't have one in mine, that I can store all of my crafting supplies. And my husband was super on board with this idea and played a huge role in helping me set it up. So I'm super grateful for his support and the fact that we have the space to create this hobby desk for me. I really wanted a dedicated crafting desk, somewhere where I can do all of my hobbies: crochet, embroidery, latch hook, Lego building, coloring, you name it, I probably have done it. So it was important to me to get a desk with a lot of space and to have as much surface area up here as possible so that I can spread out and do my crafts. My plan going into this was to keep costs low, so I wanted to shop my house and use as much as I already had as possible. Thankfully, I already had a lot of this wall decor and equipment, so the only thing I had to get for the desk itself was this desktop, which is actually just a countertop from IKEA. But I did need a new desk chair, and I found out about sofa chairs. This has been awesome because it reclines, and not just that, it has a footrest. So, reclining with this thing has been awesome. I can lock the chair, recline, sit back, and I can crochet, I can do my needlepoint crafts, I can even play with my switch here. It's been super comfortable and I've been loving this. Now let me show you the process of how I set everything up. Here is what that desk area looked like before, but with a couch there. And now this is what it looks like. I love how functional it is. This is what that storage closet looked like before. Now it is much more full with all of my crafting supplies, but it is organized. The first thing I did was get my desk set up. This is just an IKEA KARLBY countertop on top of Alex drawers that we already had. So for this, I just had to buy the countertop. Here, I laid out all of the items that I wanted to hang up on the walls. I thought that this looked pretty great until I ran into a small issue. Turns out the IKEA SKÅDIS pegboard needs to have its holes aligned vertically. Otherwise, the accessories would not hang properly if the board was turned. So I had to go back to IKEA to get a proper board that can be mounted horizontally, but the holes were vertical. It was annoying having to do all of that, but at the same time, it gave me a chance to return some items that I originally got but ended up not needing, and to pick up a few more SKÅDIS accessories while I was there. I finagled with these accessories like 50 times until I was finally happy with where they were. But that's the nice thing about having this pegboard, you know? It is meant to be customized to your own needs. I want as much desk space as possible, so a lot of my everyday tools and accessories went up on this board. I am so happy with all of my wall mounts. Now I needed a new desk chair for this space. I searched high and low for the perfect chair because it was very important to me that it was comfortable. Then I learned about sofa chairs. It can recline, has a footrest, and feels like I'm sitting in an armchair. Perfect! I'm moving on to setting up the desktop. I had the idea to put my old computer here, but I quickly realized that I did not like it covering up a part of the wall and taking up desk space that I want to use for crafting. But docking my switch here was a great idea, especially after I got a comfortable reclining desk chair for this space. It made gaming together with my husband possible because he can play his game on his computer while I play mine on the Switch. It's time to finally do some organizing of the Alex drawers. I absolutely love this label maker and use it for everything in our house. Most of the drawers hold my ongoing projects except for this one, so it made sense to label this. It is now time to add the final touches and decorations. I pulled out my memory box and took out art, cards, and other ephemera that are meaningful to me or will inspire me to create. I especially love collecting custom art and cards that my friends have made. I'm hoping that as I use this space to create, I can add my own art and creations to the walls. These are all prints that I cut out from an old calendar that I had, a throwback to my plant lady days for sure. Putting them up makes me want to look for more art prints the next time I visit markets. These are prints that my friend Sherry made. Like I said, I will treasure my friend's art forever. The desk setup portion is now complete, but that is not all. Coming up, you'll also see the closet makeover, which was infinitely harder than setting up the desk. For organizing the closet, I knew that we had to get additional shelves. My idea was to store all of my crafting supplies in that closet. You won't see any B-roll of me actually doing it because it was very stressful trying to find a place for everything. I am pretty happy with this yarn storage solution though, because it helped me realize just how much yarn I had. All of my crafting supplies are now stored on this single shelf, whereas before they were scattered all over the house. It's so nice having everything in one place. I'm also thrilled with this over-the-door hanging organizer. It helps me utilize every inch of space in this closet. I hope you enjoyed seeing the process of me putting this space together. Now let's take a final tour. Let's start with the desktop. Like I said, I wanted this space clear so that I can have as much room as possible to do my crafts. And I think that was pretty successful. All I have here is the photo lamp from IKEA. In this corner is an old monitor that my husband used to use, but since he doesn't use it anymore, I use it. And I debated for a while whether I wanted to put my Switch here and game here because I really like gaming on the couch or in my bed. But this has been pretty nice here. I enjoy gaming here, especially after getting my recliner chair. And then my cord management is tucked away back here behind the monitor. This works out really well for me because I wanted something that was easily accessible, so I just set it on top of the table. And everything is plugged into a smart power strip, so all of my lights can turn on at once. And I need a lot of lights because this room is actually quite dim. We usually keep the curtain closed so that it keeps the sunlight out so that this room stays cool. Even with all of these lamps, I might add yet another task lamp like right there above the monitor so that I have even more light when I'm working on my crafts. These cloud lamps and this pegboard was the only thing that I bought for my wall decor. Everything else I had already had, and I am happy to be able to reuse the things that I have so that I can save some money on this project. Initially, I got this pegboard just because of the aesthetics and like every single YouTuber that I saw had it, but it has been really functional because I wanted my desk space to be clear, so all of my accessories are now up on this pegboard. I frequently use pens and pencils, erasers and other little bits bobs here, and my favorite part is actually having the game controllers stored upright like this. It has been really functional for me so far. Then the rest of the wall are just pieces of art that either I created or I collected from friends and other artists. Some of the things that I really like are my little sticker scenes that I created. I had no idea what to do with them before, but now they're just decor up on my walls. And I attempted to start a Stardew Valley crochet cardigan, but the project was just way too big for the time that I had, so the single square that I made goes up here now. These drawers have been cleared and they just hold my ongoing projects. Let me show you what's inside of them. This one contains my plastic canvas Halloween village, which I hope I can complete this year before the twins arrive. This one is diamond painting. Oh, so this is what the final product looks like. But I have one more coaster to finish. And this one holds a punch needle craft as well as a work in progress crochet project. And over here is my paint by numbers that I have been working on for years now. Cross stitch clock that I started but have not finished. Oh, yet another embroidery project. And finally, my latch hook rug. Geez, when will this get done? I have no idea, but I'm hoping that putting all of my in progress works in these drawers, I will get to them eventually and try not to start another project until these are done. Now that we've seen the desk, let's take a look at my closet storage. Working on organizing this closet probably took the most time because I had to move all of my craft supplies from around the house into here and figure out where to store them. But let me show you how it was done. On the very top are pieces that are too big to fit anywhere else, but it's nice that they're all relatively flat so they fit here perfectly, like all of these embroidery hoops, canvases for painting, and an old art portfolio. Right below that is the shelf that I have items that I reach for most frequently. So it's this caddy of frequently used tools, glues, jewelry supplies, and clay supplies. Next are my coloring supplies. So these are all my alcohol markers. I used to display them out on my desk, but now I don't really have a place for them because I wanted to clear up desk space. But for now, it'll just live here in my storage closet, as well as my Crayola Super Tips and then a random fabric bin. This bin holds all of my needlepoint stuff, so this includes hooks and needles, but also embroidery and punch needle kits that I've got over the years, some embroidery thread. This is a box of amigurumi supplies, so this holds stuff like safety eyes and some stuffing. And then finally back here are my paints, my gouache, paint accessories, and some acrylics. Finally, the shelf down here is called my TBD shelf, which is to be done. These are all projects that I want to do, but haven't even started yet. There's a good amount of Lego sets back here as well, so one day we'll get to them. I saw this yarn storage on Pinterest and thought it was perfect for what I'm trying to achieve, especially since everything that I am storing is inside of a closet. So it's just a sweater organizer that I filled up with all of my yarn. And boy, do I have a lot of yarn. But I think I'll be able to use it up, especially with the latch hook rug project that I'm working on. So yeah, this will keep me busy for a while. I have some miscellaneous polyfill up there for my amigurumi. And then this was a last minute ad, this pantry organizer. People usually put spices in here, but I liked using it for all of my writing utensils because obviously I will be using these very frequently. And so having them on the door makes them a lot more easier to access than the storage shelves, because as you can imagine, it's kind of hard to get the stuff that's all the way back there. So that is my tour. I hope you enjoyed watching and felt inspired to create your own little cozy hobby space. I would also love to see and be inspired by your setups, so do share them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you again next time.